I guess I'm a runner, an ultra runner, so really looking to continually stretch how far I can run, distance-wise and time-wise. To me, I guess that's a challenge because the longer you go, the more things that you have to consider, and it becomes a bit of an experiment, I guess. It's nearly 6 o'clock and we're just getting ready to leave to go into town and starting at Mount Eden, the summit, for a big couple of days. It's quite cool up here. We can pretty much see all of the route, just the edge of the lights will be the route pretty much. We're going to be starting here on some of the Mount Eden, all the way out to Long Bay, out to Swanson in the west, and then the southernmost point is Drury, and then through the east up through Bucklands Beach, and yeah, back around to the city.
So how many Ks are we looking at doing to complete this?
320 is what the plot is, but we'll come across parks that are closed or tracks that are closed, so it could be more. Hopefully not too much more, or it could be a little bit less. Hoping to do 48 hours just because it's got a nice ring to it, but I don't want to bust a gut. I'm trying to keep it slow. Thanks for coming out. Let's go. The idea for the Auckland circumnavigation came when I was doing my Auckland volcanoes run, and that one was running all 57 volcanoes of Auckland in one stint. I really enjoyed that run because I guess it was my first time to see a heap of Auckland. It's a real eye-opener, I guess, and a cool way to explore the city, running through it. Lots of the stuff that I do is running by myself, and I really wanted to involve people in the whole circus of running around Auckland.
Support runners are really important, and for multiple reasons. So the support runners are company for him. It keeps him safe, which is really important. So although they're chatting and distracting him, they will also notice if there's anything going wrong, or if it's going the wrong way or anything like that. So it helps keep him safe, and it helps keep that pace consistent too, you know, that they're not going to let him walk too much.
Some were, you know, people that I only met through Facebook and hadn't met personally, you know, talking to a stranger enough to get to know them a bit, which is cool. Also people joining in and experiencing what it can be like, and hopefully getting them to think about going wider than their normal paths, inspiring them to explore a bit themselves. "71 kilometres. And it's been cool. Just about finished the North Shore, and that green height bit was really cool. Lots of little alleyways and mix of road and trails, and each time someone new joins and you're chatting, so like the time passes by a bit faster. Get ready for the night, put some lights on, slip into night mode.
I think they're good. He's happy. He's got a few niggles, but if he hadn't, after running 90 odd kilometres, he'd be a weirdo, so that's all right. I was amazed that as he was leaving, it kind of speaks to Shaun's character. He was checking in on the other runners, you know, he put his arm around one of the guys and checked in on him, made sure that they had all the gear they needed. He was looking after himself, but he's still thinking about everyone else as well. And we couldn't believe how chirpy they were in that shit awful weather.
There's a shitter section, busy road, lots of rain. It just wasn't pleasant. When you get to that stage, you always do think about what you've sacrificed, I guess, to get to here, and then all these people around you supporting me. Those are things that you're using as fuel to carry on. It's hard to not have that thought to quit, but they're the things that will pull you out. And I always have a why really solid in my head before these things, so that when you do get into those really dark patches, you can think back to the why you're doing it and the why is the personal challenges and the personal objectives you've got, but also to show appreciation for those people that are giving to the adventure. So for Madeline and the girls, supporting me before and during, and then all these runners that are coming in and joining in. And so knowing that there was more of those people waiting is another thing that helps you get through that low patch. And without that, if I was just doing it by myself, then it would be a lot easier to, talk yourself out of it, I guess.
Yeah, so at the moment Shaun's tracking pretty well. His actual pace is super consistent and strong and steady. He's tracking at the slow end of his original plan, but that's more, I think, to do with aid station time, especially during the night. But even, chatting to people along the way, saying goodbye as people leave and greetings as people arrive, that's what's putting him on the slow end. But he doesn't really care too much about that timing. It's more about how he's feeling and that consistent pace. And he's about to hit 200 kilometres, which is massive. And his longest ever distance is 228.
Bye, thank you.
I think once he gets past here, he heads back over the motorway. It's a whole new zone of Auckland to move into, which will give him a boost. Hitting that 200 kilometres will give him a boost, and then getting beyond what he's done before will give him a massive boost, because he loves testing his limits, and he'll really enjoy being in that new zone.
That was a good slog. I'm getting tired now.
Yeah.
The legs are good, they just keep journeying. Just a bit of swelling there on the side of the Achilles. I felt it first at about 30k. Just been managing it, which has been alright. Changing shoes regularly, and I've got a little heel raise, which is helping. And then just keeping the stride short and the pace low, and that seems to be alright. Yeah, the course goes up into the eastern hills and then back down again and up and down, and that really aggravated the Achilles because the hills are where it was having the most issue. It was probably my darkest patch of the whole adventure. That's where I really had a thought of whether I was going to make it or not.
It hasn't changed in how it looks.
No, it's not anymore.
So it's just like the anti-flame stuff.
Yeah, I had a good chat with Madeline about it, and she gave me a good push to remind me that I've done all of this sort of stuff before, and just to keep going, get to the next aid station and see how it is. It took a good 2k to be able to slip into a jog again. It was agony, but I was just breathing through it.
Because he's really studied and tried hard to train that mental capacity, he doesn't really get into funks very often. And he's got a little contract with himself so that he knows it doesn't matter how bad it's feeling, he has to keep going. He doesn't have a choice to quit. And he's really experienced, so he knows that actually none of these things last forever. When he's feeling great, he knows it's not going to last forever, and when he's in a funk, he knows it's not going to last forever either, and that really helps him to keep going.
This one's a slightly bigger break, this one. So I think he probably wants something to eat decent. And just see what the other boys need as well, because they've got to be comfortable, they're looking after him in the night. So we want to make sure they're okay as well. They've all got partners and stuff worrying about them at home and things like that, so strange things can happen. And it's just about keeping him moving. Apparently he may appear to be internalising and just sort of like this, but really is actually in his element. Obviously, like anybody, you'd keep an eye out those little warning signs, but yeah, I'd just take the lead from Madeline and get him out and get him moving. Just keep him moving.
When I start to sleepwalk, I really need to stop and have a quick power nap. I usually get away with 5 to 10 minutes. It's amazing how you feel after it, and ready to meet the new day and finish this thing off.
we're cracking the pace out there. We're doing sub-8s, man. The fact that he's getting close to 300 Ks already and he's still putting in sub-8 minute Ks is just amazing. He's got another couple of runners to join him. It's been awesome.
Thank you. How's it?
Great to meet you.
Bloody awesome night. You did amazing. The sunrise is an amazing feeling, especially after a second long night. Been running for 48 hours and it just revitalises you. You kind of feel the warmth slowly coming over you. It helped take the focus off the Achilles, and also I knew that I was meeting the family and they were going to run with me for a bit. They'd been so supportive to have them along running and get me through it close to the end. It's amazing how you can control the mind so much that, you know, that pain of the Achilles sort of disappeared for the last 20 Ks. It was still swollen and sore, but the mind had switched off the pain so that I could just keep plugging on. One of the things I really wanted to do during this mission or adventure was involve other people. It was awesome, all the support that I had. You can't do these things without them to distract you and help you along, especially in those dark periods. The finish is inside. It was awesome to have the family along for the journey as well. They see me do the hard yards and put up with me being away from home, hours training, and I get heaps having them supporting, but I think they also get to see that journey and realise that you can set a goal and know that you've accomplished something that others may not have thought about doing. I've learnt some new things about myself, so I guess now I've got a new limit and I have to think about what's next. Let's go.